Welcome. I am your humble host, Darren Green, back with another episode. This is episode 106, and I'm joined with my co-host, Derek Dahl. How are you?
Hey, what's going on? I'm doing good. How are you, Darren?
I'm doing good, too. If you're listening to this podcast on iTunes or anywhere else you listen to podcasts, please give me a 5-star rating and a review. Follow me at TDJS Media on Instagram and Twitter, and be sure to subscribe to the YouTube page. Yeah, that's it. And I would like to, formally announce we're joined with director, writer, producer, host of the Cozy Chat podcast, and friend Maxine Antoine. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, and you?
I'm good. How's everybody been?
Oh man, exhausted. I've been so exhausted because I've been planning projects, as you know, especially for this upcoming projects that I'm doing for Black History Month and stuff. Okay. So it's been taking a lot of my time. So I just have to manage sleep and just a balance of things so I don't get overwhelmed. So that's what I'm doing for this week. Yeah, burnout is real.
It is.
Yeah.
Just been planning, and I'm really prepping for my new Shopify store, because I want to launch on Negro sometime within the next 2 months. Spring, summer, September.
Okay, sure.
Right, and just my mom's coming next week.
Yeah, you just said that.
And just living, man. I got blocked on Facebook again, so I'm just trying to navigate social media.
What happened with that?
Yeah, what happened?
I don't know. I just keep people just keep trying me. Actually, this is what happened. So I was looking for photos and assets to use for a documentary that I'm on. And I ran across a picture of me that was published by this Spanish magazine or something like that.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, they posted me. That's good. And I can read Spanish. Can't really conjugate, but I can kind of read it. So I started reading, and I saw some little buzzwords. So I hit translation, and I saw people's negative comments. I'm petty, so I'm just I would take pages. I'm looking to see how tacky they are and all kind of stuff.
Okay.
Right. So I jumped in the comments like a bird. Because I'm such a bully.
Was you speaking in your language?
Huh?
Was you speaking it? Was you reciprocating?
Some of them, I was typing out my comments, translating and putting them in the comments, responding to them. And
that's Google Translate.
Right. And I think for me, it's every time I say, bitch, shut the fuck up, I get flagged for bullying. So I gotta do something else instead of telling people to shut the fuck up on Facebook, because every time I do it, they say I was bullying. I was like, well, they bullied me first. They published a picture of me without me asking. And then these people are trying to work with me. I don't even know them. So, Facebook has had enough of my mess. So they blocked me for 30 days. They didn't put me in the pokey for a whole month. So I don't get to come back until Valentine's Day.
You said 30 days? Dang.
30 days in the hole.
I remember the only thing close I had got probation, because look, I really went off on some people one time. But we're in the Donald Trump era.
They're canceling everybody left and right, child. Be best. No, it's actually made me but I've been focusing more on my Instagram anyway, and jumping into reels, reels and TikTok.
Yeah.
Right.
And I've been reading some of their the strategies and how-tos, and really investing time into that platform. So I know how Facebook works. I know how their algorithms work. It's kind of gotten boring now. So it's move on to something else and see how
algorithm is.
It's designed to make people pay, especially for content creators, for us to pay for exposure now. And I'm not with that.
And Instagram is starting to get like that too, because I'm like, honey, I made way more than I ever did paying for some ads.
Right.
Okay. Right. I don't know what your algorithm is coming like. It's given very much for the influencers and famous people. They get they get the better end of it, and then we have to pay for exposure. I see it because I have 3 different pages. I have my Green Radio page, I have my personal blog page, in the my personal page. And I see when I post something on either one, I don't see it on the other one. So I'm like, I keep on refreshing. I'm like, when is my post gonna show up?
Right.
And it don't show up till like what, the day after. I'm like, damn.
Wow.
People really just, so it's not really people is just like not looking at it or not interacting with it. People are not seeing it. So
Yeah.
there's a conversation that needs to be had. That's the time.
I'm gonna send you an article about understanding the Instagram algorithm, and there's like six things that go into what you see in your feed every day.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to do with, like, of course, engagement. Like, what do you engage in the most? And then like the hashtags you use on your post. And but I'll send it to you, so you'll start to see differences in your feed every day, based off of how you interact with Instagram. That's what I had to learn. So if you go on there, you just post and leave. Like, that's usually my thing. I just post and leave. I don't be looking up other folks' stuff. Pop up. You know what I mean? But they're really heading out on like saving now. Like, not even like liking people's stuff. It's all about like favoriting it and saving it now.
Or sending it to people. That's the best thing.
Yeah, and sending out your stories and stuff like that. So, but yeah, we'll talk about it, because
we'll talk about it. That's a time for another episode. That's another episode. I see that live on Facebook. I'm sorry, guys. We were live last week. I don't know why I didn't go on Facebook, but it's on Facebook now. I want to talk to you, Maxine. You know, I want to give you some interview questions and whatnot. So what is your plans this year, production wise? Because I know you're big into film and now you're podcasting. So just tell me what's in store for us.
So for this year, I've planned 10 projects. They're each dedicated to a specific month. So each of these projects, like for example, Who's Next, the one that I'm doing for February, is going to really highlight Black issues, Black stories, and really get an insight on what we go through, and also to remember the people who we've lost in 2020, because that's something that's important to me. Like, I notice in this day and age, you know, we tend to forget so easily because like there's constant news just being like flooded in our faces all the time, right? So that's something I don't want people to forget, you know, and that's being dedicated to all the Black people in the world for Black History Month. Then for Women's History Month in March, I'm doing one called The Truth About Black Misogyny, and how like Black men tend to fail Black women. And that one is like really like intense, I guess. Like, it will be a shocker to some, but there are things that Black men do to Black women that is just not right. For example, I remember my sister telling me about a case where like this girl went to a protest and she was protesting with everybody for like George Floyd. And then she wanted to go home, and this guy who was also at the protest said, you know, I could give you a ride and stuff like that. And she was like, oh, thank you so much. And she goes there, he rapes her and then kills her. And I'm just like, and he's a Christian. He identifies as a Christian. He's a Black man. But here you are doing something that tragic to a Black woman for what? For what? You know, there's a narrative that, you know, Black men protects Black women. They are there for Black women and stuff. But I have not seen that, you know, especially during the protest. There were a lot of people who were saying like, oh, we stand for Black Lives Matter. But when it comes to Black women, Black LGBTQ people, Black trans people, where are our men? Where are everybody to defend all of us? You know, because Black people, we have intersectionalities. We're not just Black. We're Black and gay. We're Black and trans. We're Black females. Like, we're Black everything. It's not just one thing. But here we're only defending Black men, and that's a problem. There's a lot of things that they do that we need to, you know, highlight. And I'm highlighting that through the art of photography, because I think that's just going to be easiest. And I think that's more of an eye opener to discuss some of the ways that Black men have not been good to Black women. And then for April, Earth Day, you know, I really want to highlight the environment. There's, you know, last year I became a vegan and stuff. So for me personally, I've just seen, this is not for every vegan, of course, like not every vegan is going to think like this, but for me, I just realized the morale of being vegan, you know, like just caring for the animals and treat them with as much kindness and respect as I would with a human being. You know, like something that I think about all the time is how the way we treat our animals is the same way we treat each other. For example, right? A dog and a cat, you use them like, you pet them, you own them in your house, and you treat them with all kindness and love, right? But when it comes to a pig, a cow, all these other animals, we see them for killing and eating, but like there's a discrepancy there, because if you think about it, for the way we treat in this society, the way white people are treated, for example, right? They're treated with love and kindness. They have white privilege and everything. But Black people, they're treated in a similar way to cows, pigs, and all these things, and how, like, we're constantly are the shit end of the stick, So I just kind of saw that reflection as I was really thinking about, animal rights. And so for April, I really want to focus on animal rights. I want to focus on environmental issues, and really, like, getting people to calm down as well, because I feel like in this day and age, we have so much anxiety. I think what I want to do for April is just bring a call back to nature, a call back to home, through ASMR videos and also photography as well. And then for me, I'm going
to...
Huh?
You're doing it all.
Yeah, I'm trying to, because like all of these topics are really, really important to me, and they connect with me in some way. And I know it connects with a lot of people too, because just sending out notices, people have been joining on to the ideas as well. But yeah, and then for June, I'm going to reload All Love Is Real Love, and really going to highlight the models that took those photos, like you guys, for example, and get your stories and understand, like, your coming out story. What do you think about the LGBTQ community? And that's just going to be like a docu-series, just highlighting you guys. And then also incorporating a short film that highlights the issues between religion and the LGBTQ community. Because they're gay events out there, but like we see that LGBTQ community, which is not right or fair. So something that I definitely want to highlight through a short film as well. And then I have other projects as well, such as I have this one in August called it's 3. One is called The Consent Chronicles, because something that I noticed in this day and age is that we struggle with what consent is. For men, they think that, not all men, of course, but with men, I feel like they don't know how to approach a woman anymore. It's like, if I just go near a woman, I'm afraid, like, she's gonna say I raped her or whatever, right? And then you have women who say, like, it's just like they are either afraid to speak and know that they have their right to speak, or they're put in situations where they feel like they can't speak, so they don't even know that they're empowered to have the right to say, like, I need your consent, I want you to respect my boundaries and stuff. So for the Consent Chronicles, I really want to highlight that for women and men, that you're empowered and you have the right to, demand consent when you, especially in sexual situations, right? And just to develop a new set of, like, guidelines to that issue, because our ancestors and the generations before us did not tell us how to do it right. If they did, we wouldn't even have this issue. So just like a little loose manual on, like, how to go about consent, and just talking and sharing our testimonies as well. And then doing 2 short films, one called Broken Record, where it's about a woman who just got raped, and she is internalizing it, and she feels guilty and everything, but as she is reflecting and sharing her story, she's keep getting, like, hit with, like, it's not your fault, it's okay and everything, but she can't believe it. It's hard for her to, like, really take it in. And another one called From My Eyes, where we see a man and woman get raped from a subjective point of view, and you see how society reacts to a man getting raped and the way society reacts to a woman getting raped, and how different they are. And then September, I'm talking about suicide. That one is a really, really tough topic. So that one is like, I'm trying to rack my brains on how to go about it, so that way we don't have like another 13 reasons why, unfortunately. So for that one, I would like for people to share their poetry and really talk about suicide survival, because here we talk about suicide, but surviving suicide and what that looks like and how you approach each day. I know for me that's a personal story for me as well, because like I approach each day trying to live for another day, and not have those thoughts rack my mind. So just having people share that story would be just a wonderful way to heal from suicide as well, like the suicidal thoughts and suicide ideations. And then October, that one is for productions. Oh my God, October is like the craziest month of all. Because there's 2 photography productions and then 2 short films that I would like to release in that month. One would highlight domestic violence, and then another one would highlight like Halloween goth scene. And they're both photography productions as well. And then I have 2 short films. One is called Blood Ties, where a daughter goes to her father's funeral and then she seeks revenge, but instead of getting justice, she ends up getting something else. But I can't tell you what it is because that would be a spoiler. And then the next one's called Smile. Smile is about a woman who is beating her husband in a fit of rage. Ooh. And as she's beating her husband, she's having flashbacks to the times where she had to smile and mask her pain. And for that one, I can personally relate to that one only because like I know what it's like to have to smile through pain and tell people I'm fine, when in actuality I'm not fine. I'm dying inside, for example, And then I think that's about it actually. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all like really personal topics, and yeah, I think for this year, I just really would like for people to heal, along with me, because I'm trying to heal as well. 2020 was a rough year for everyone.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Like, what are some of the things that how have things been since the pandemic?
If I'm being honest, during the pandemic, it was just a downward spiral for me, honestly. After getting hit with the news of COVID-19, I had to stop my work because I finally had gotten a job, and I was doing the training and everything. But as soon as the training was finished and we had to like actually go in to do the job, COVID-19 hit. So I barely got a job. And I was depressed. I was just watching anime all day because I'm an anime fan. And it was just hard for me to at least like feel like I was enough, even though I wasn't doing anything. Right. So in quarantine, like I, trained and I was like, doing karate for a bit and stuff. But then I had to like quit because quarantine again was just spiking up and it wasn't worth like getting that risk, Okay. And so with quarantine, like I just tried to do like a little creative things here and there, but it's been rough, and then having to see like, what happened with George Floyd, Breonna Taylor and everything. Like I was just traumatized all the time. That's how it felt like, just getting traumatized all the time. So it was a rough year. I can't say like I was smiley as usual, or had an exciting year. But there were good moments. I have to say.
Good moments. That's good.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, one thing that came out of the quarantine is that you were able to sit down and create all these wonderful ideas for new projects for the year. And I think when we spoke about that before, about for creatives, sometimes all we need is to kind of like just sit down and like have a moment to ourselves, and it kind of forces us to like think outside the box.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't want to halt the interview, but I did want to touch on some of the things that you spoke about already. And one of them that struck me was the fact that you're a vegan now.
Yeah.
There's like this this trend over the past 4 or 5 years of it becoming, a huge wave of Black vegans.
Yeah.
And aside from the animal rights situation, like, what else? What are some of the benefits that you've already gained from being a vegan? And how long have you been a vegan? Like how many months have you been?
So vegan was since last May.
Since last May. Have you noticed any changes in like your body? Like, do you feel better? Have you lost weight? Like, what are the benefits of? What have the benefits been for you?
The benefits, I say, like I think for me, like I got weight loss. That's one. That's not really a benefit, but it's just like one that I know people can relate to. I feel healthier the only reason why I say I feel healthier is because I've been doing the research to know what will actually help me be healthier. And I think like there's a lot of myths, like being vegan is not necessarily the healthiest way, because you could eat fries, you could eat like the fried donuts or whatever. Like there's vegan things that are not healthy, Yeah, exactly. So for me, what really helped me was not so much veganism, but really herbalism, I think, because I'm all into like trying to use nature and like plants as natural medicine, and so that along with being vegan, is what's been helping me. I put things that make me feel alive inside. Also another myth, like if you're a vegan and you're like eating too fast, you're still gonna have issues. Like you're gonna have heartburn, you're gonna have all these issues in your insides. You have to learn to like eat slow, for example, or you need to know the right times to eat certain foods. Like, for example, pistachios, you should eat that at night because pistachios has melatonin and it helps you to go to sleep. You should eat a bit apple in the morning because apples gives you energy in the morning, and 2 bananas if you want to like do a 90-minute workout. 2 bananas will help you give you that same energy than coffee. So there's lots of things that you just need to know, like the specific times to eat them. So it's not so much vegan. It's like you could be like a meat eater, and eat the meat at the right times, and you should be fine. But then there's vegans who are doing the veganism right and they still get cancer. Like how do you explain that, right? Because there's other issues besides just eating plants. Like you can eat plants, but look what they're doing to plants. They're putting synthetic stuff in their plants. They're doing a lot of things, like for example, the vegan meats. I don't know if you guys follow Food Babe, but Food Babe just like made a blog post about how the vegan meats has this thing, I forgot what's called, but it's the same chemical that is used in cars, but that they use to help mold the meat to make it look like meat. Yeah. So
ask you about those vegans that create fake meat stuff. And
yeah, like
it's meatless. It'd be like meatless spaghetti balls and meatless steak.
Yeah.
I'm like, call it something else. Okay.
Yeah, like meat, it's not meat. You know what I mean? And it's actually much worse, because people don't know that. Thanks to Food Babe for doing the research.
I mean, the keto diet is definitely something that a lot of people talk about that gives people actual results, and not only just for the vanity of like losing weight or anything like that, but to be healthy.
Yeah, exactly. And also like you have to understand your body. That's another myth. Like just going vegan might not be for you. If you're going to go vegan, you need to know what's right for you. Like you need to do the research, and like if you're not going to eat meat, what are you going to replace your proteins with? Eat beans. All types of beans has protein. Chickpeas, kidney beans, all beans. Mushrooms are good for your antioxidants and your vitamin D. It's the only vegetable that has vitamin D, if you can't get access to the sun. So there are things that you just need to do your research on before you just hop on the bandwagon to like some diet, because each diet has its cons and pros. Like that's something like people need to understand. Like veganism is not the end all be all. Like you could have a mixture, but like for example, if you're gonna eat meat, don't eat too much meat, because eating too much meat after a while will do damage to your body, because your the way your intestines is set up, it's set up in a way where it slowly digests your food as it goes down. In animals, the reason why you see that animals eat their prey and stuff like that, their digestive system is much smaller, so it could process things faster. Whereas for humans, we can't process the meat as fast as we're intaking it. So yes, eat your meat, but don't eat it too much. Like have it twice a week, for example, so that your body has time to digest it, and eat the right meats, the grass-fed, the organics. Don't eat like regular McDonald's, because McDonald's can last for 20 years. There's like videos of McDonald's meat lasting like 20 years. Imagine if you're going to hit your 40s, McDonald's is still in your belly, and it's not digested. So you really have to understand.
Have that issue then by the time we get to 40, because I'm sure everybody on this panel has had Happy Meals.
Okay.
Yeah. So also a combination of herbalism too has helped me.
My feet, honey. I had McDonald's.
Do you participate in like annual cleanses?
Cleanses, I have done some cleanses. Like for example, I've taken lime water and cayenne pepper and mixed in water, and I drink that before I eat or drink anything, because to detoxify what's there from last night that didn't get fully fleshed out, and then just easier to process your food. I put turmeric in my teas to help with any inflammations in my body. If I have a toothache, for example, I put turmeric and cloves on my tooth to heal it. Turmeric, yeah. Turmeric?
It's turmeric.
Thank you. Turmeric.
Turmeric.
Thank you. But yeah, I put that with cloves, and like I put it on my toothache if I have toothaches. I use coconut oil as my mouthwash. So like there's a lot of other things. And also like your water supply too is something you have to be careful of. So there's all these ways of like killing us, right. Besides like, so even if you hopped on any diet, you're still gonna die somehow. You know what I mean? And that's like the tragic truth if you don't do your research.
Yeah, death is the only appointment we'll never be late for.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm glad that you're really invested in like in health and wellness, and I think that by you putting that into your art or spinning things that actually have affected your life, moving it into your art space is really important. Yeah. And so I appreciate and I respect you for that as an artist, that you that you are doing that. But Darren, you wanted to jump in. I know you had something that you.
Yeah, I just wanted to have one more closing question for the interview. Let's talk about your role in the Cozy Chat podcast. I want to give you some promos. I know you just started.
Thank you.
With them, and tell us what it's about and why did you join, and
Yeah, so the Cozy Chat was created to talk about Black topics, Black issues, Black stories, really like focus on how our, how we identify as individuals affect, how we navigate in this world. So what you're going to see now when you go on the Cozy Chat is a lot of like Black issue topics, or topics where like we get it from the Black people lens, and yeah, it's just to highlight and empower us. That's why we created it as well. It started off with Corey and Sasha at first, and then I came on when Sasha couldn't do it, and then the three of us ended up going on together, which is great. And we've just kind of dived into a lot of crazy topics. Kind of like, for example, interracial dating, a lot of the news, like with what's that guy's face? Nick Cannon, for example, and what was going on with him. When he made that comment, it was like a while ago. He made a comment about like, how people with melanin are kinder to others, in comparison to white people. We talked about this guy, I forgot his name, this Black guy who really embarrassed the Black woman on his live stream when she was asking him questions on like how to like level up in relationships and stuff, and he kind of like really embarrassed her. Yeah, exactly.
No, on the side, like she wasn't like it still wouldn't come like.
Yeah, it was very like conflicting, because like the way we went about it too in that conversation was we were talking about how he still disrespected her. Like he didn't have to go that far, but we could also see why he did, because she wasn't listening and she wasn't really defending herself as well, but it still didn't give him the right to like go that far. I think
you disrespected her by calling her ugly, or
well, like it was a while ago, but like he was calling her ugly, and he was saying like, oh, you'll never you'll always be alone. Like that's just harsh to say, I mean, like,
the thing was like, you don't like, and I watched it, and I think I've seen some of his other clips, and I think that's kind of, I won't say part of his shtick, but most people like watching because he just is unabashedly unfiltered and kind of just gives his opinion. And my thing is, if you ask me for my opinion, don't try to then debate me about it, especially if you're asking me for advice on something that you trust I'm going to give you the right advice on.
Okay, I'm under a rock. Can somebody relay me what
I think we talked about this. We talked about this on the show before, where the guy was on IG Live. He has a show, and a girl called in. I'll send you the. I think I still have it saved in my phone. She called in about how does she go about trying to attract like a man that makes more money than her, and like she was listing like what she wants, and he said, how old are you? And she's like 35. He was like, and do you have kids? She's like, yeah, I do have kids. Like, so you're over 30 with kids, and you look average, but you want a man who is more affluential and influential than you to be attracted to you as a partner. He was like, well, that's just unrealistic because most people in that particular status, I mean, money does change things. You know, it's like the men with power typically are looking for a young, hot wife. You know, like it's a shame. It's like mostly look for trophies.
Yeah.
Personality is secondary. But with no kids, it's like you're over 30. You should, and you look average at best. So you should be looking for men in your
bracket,
in your range, right? Like
what you can get,
man, right? You know, and she was like, but that's not what I want. And he was like, I'm trying to tell you, you're going to be more successful getting someone in that, a man that wants kids, who's not looking for this woman that's going to be a 10 all the time, like, and she just was saying, well, I want blah blah blah, and he's just like, okay, you're not getting it, girl, you ugly, you old, and you got a baby, and it ain't happening.
Yeah.
Well,
but that's his opinion.
It's his opinion, but it's like, for me, when we get into a debate or a discussion or a topic, I think, and this is not hot topics right now. I'm gonna just say this. I feel like we can have a discussion, but it's when you get disrespectful is when it gets too far, and it's like, okay, we're having a conversation, and things get, and you're bringing in things. I just had a list to this. I just had a little discussion with my best friend about Wendy Williams, and I was on her side about. I'm not gonna tell you the basis of the argument or whatever, but I'm like, okay, we can have a discussion, but don't sit there and try to discredit me because it says, well, we're discussing something. Okay. Now him saying that you're ugly, you're never gonna find nobody. I mean, ugly is and I said this on Twitter a couple days ago, ugly is in the eye of the beholder. I definitely feel like you shouldn't be settling, but you definitely should be trying to get someone that's realistic. So I kind of agree with him.
Right.
But it's just the way you say it. And we're on a public forum. And
actually ugly outright. That was just me paraphrasing, but like in every sense of where he was like, girl. He said, do you have a mirror? He said, do you own a mirror?
You're average at best.
He said, you're average at best. So you shouldn't you shouldn't expect you shouldn't expect that type of fairy tale to happen for you at this stage of your life. When, you know.
Yeah. And it didn't make it easy either because she wasn't like, she would be like this. Like, imagine having a conversation with someone and she's like, this as he's talking, and like I could see why he got frustrated because she's not even taking the advice when he was talking about something else. Like, she wanted counseling and he was like, I don't do counseling like that. You have to go on my website and book me. Right now we're talking about something different, and she wasn't listening. So he entertained it, which, you know, that was his choice. He could have just like canceled her out. You know what I mean? But he decided to entertain it.
Because then that looks bad. Because now people on the outside are gonna be like, "Oh well, he seemed like he's disrespectful. I don't want to." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
His views went up actually.
Huh?
His views went up actually.
Oh well.
Yeah, people like that too.
Which is why we waited for this Wendy Williams video.
Oh, you know, I can't wait for this. You know, I'm gonna be in here like.
I know you be taking notes and everything.
Oh, don't
do cocaine in the studio now.
Now, don't do me. Don't do me.
Our next guest.
Oh my God. Anyway, let's get into hot topics.
Yeah, sure.
Well, first, I would like to send condolences to the actress Cicely Tyson's loved ones throughout this tumultuous time. For those who don't know, the Tony/Emmy Award-winning actress Cicely Tyson had died Thursday afternoon, confirmed by her longtime manager. It's very unclear how she died, but we're guessing it was because of old age. Could have been
probably, but I'm not too sure either. I just looked it up.
It's unclear. We're not sure, but we'll definitely keep you posted on it. I just hope that it's not, huh?
What is she, 96?
Yeah, she was 96.
Okay.
Yeah, but okay.
However, she lifted up out of here, she deserves.
I know, but I just worry that it's not, you know, the vid.
You worry that why?
Because it's like she could have stayed. Because if it wasn't for the pandemic, she would still be here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but if it is because of old age, well, it is. You know, that's
earlier.
The time.
That's the only appointment that you cannot be late for. And you know what's crazy about this?
What?
Is that Betty White just turned 99 like last week. And anytime you bring up one, you have to bring up the other. And I had just had a conversation with someone on Wednesday or Tuesday about Cicely Tyson and about her being like our Black Betty White, like she's our national treasure, queen of Black cinema. And like we hadn't had a documentary on her yet, or like I was like, they were doing all these biopics, but like, why hasn't Cicely Tyson gotten one? She's been in Hollywood since the 30s or 40s.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then she died the next day, and I'm just like,
wow.
Oh, so you was just like, wow, oh my god,
like dang, like
I was just thinking about you, like, yo,
yeah.
It's really sad. When I did, because I actually wrote an article about this because it drove me back to blogging.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. No, it was literally like she was a polarizing actress. Like she literally, like there was interviews that she said that like she like refused to play like drug addicts, prostitutes, maids, roles, those type of roles in the beginning of her career because she didn't want to she didn't want the Black woman to be painted in a certain way. Like that's balls right there. Like you said that back in the day. Now she played the help later on. That's because she wanted to. You get what I'm saying? But she did other roles back in the day, and it's like times where only Black women were playing maids and prostitutes and what name would have you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So she's an inspiration definitely for
icon.
Work ethic. Because this was excuse me, she was working all the way up until the very end. Like I think her last movie was that Tyler Perry film, A Fall from Grace. That's the last time I seen her.
Oh yes, she did play in that. Yeah.
She played the mom, right?
I think so. Yeah, she was like one of the old women.
Older women.
Yeah.
Wow. Somebody y'all just pray and protect Sidney Poitier. And who else in line? Morgan Freeman. We just got to protect all our jewels now.
Yes, please. It's getting 2021 already. Like, yo, they like.
Oh man, it's like getting crazier.
Right.
Like 2020 was like this is just like the first wave, like like a little ocean wave, like maybe a hurricane, like a light hurricane, and then 2021 is like boom, tsunami, and I'm like, oh my god.
I would hope not, but it's been going kind of okay, but
I mean, it always started with an insurrection at the Capitol.
Yeah, and like the new strands of COVID-19, like there's a lot of things going on.
I'm used to it.
Look, is out now. It's just too much.
It's a lot. Oh my god, it's a headache. And we lost Chadwick too. Oh Jesus.
That was unexpected. I teared up with that one right there, child.
I wanted him.
Honey, I was in East LA and Hoboken, honey. I seen this. I'm like, y'all lying. Then I seen it on another blog. I started crying. I was like, no, because I feel like that was very unexpected. Like that was, dang. Like he didn't even. I mean, he did a lot of roles. He did a lot of film. He did a lot.
He was a symbolic to the Black community. He was so symbolic.
There's another movie he's in that's coming out.
Really? I thought. Oh wow! I thought Ma Rainey's was his last.
Was it?
Because he played in a lot of others like before his passing. Yeah.
Did y'all watch the Spike Lee one that came out last year?
No.
Yes, I didn't finish it.
I watched Ma Rainey's though.
I gotta go back and watch the one with Spike Lee.
It was interesting seeing Ma Rainey's though, because he played a completely different character, and I was like, I hate you and love you though.
Right, he played a bad part.
Yeah.
I'm very critical about that movie though. I love Viola Davis. Let me tell you something. Viola Davis, Chadwick Boseman, they did a great job. I just don't like films that stay in one spot. That's just my thing. Like I'm like I like, or maybe I didn't. It's not that I don't like it. It's like I thought I was gonna get like a biopic of Ma Rainey, like how she started, like this.
Have you seen?
I didn't know it was gonna be like one day of her doing a recording of, or maybe I didn't watch the trailers enough, but I thought it was gonna be like a little, how she became.
No, it's based off the play. It was literally staged as the play.
So it was a play.
Yeah, but
okay.
It was a play. But yeah, he did an amazing job in that, even though he was the villain.
Yeah, they did look. They did an amazing job. Yep. It was very.
Oh man, Chadwick.
With our fallen star. I know, right? We done got. What a way to start the show off with our fallen stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo, Lord! In my head, every time this happens, I'm just like, Lord, just please, just keep us with Patty another year. I just gotta meet Patty LaBelle.
For real, it seems it's starting. It's coming like the hip hop Harry Who's Next dance, child. I'm like, child.
Yeah.
Too soon. Okay.
Right. Because as you said, I heard the song in my head, like, who's next? Like people Harlem shaking to the grave. This is too much.
Oh Lord. But no, we gotta get a little amped up now.
Yeah, get to the mess.
So surviving T.I. and Tiny.
So what you name this segment?
That's a way to start. Hey.
I know that was a weird swerve, but
yeah, look, like we talk about the people who died. Okay, let's talk about sex trapficking.
Right. Well, this is the Darren Green Show, and we talk about celebrity news.
Yeah.
Today, well, rapper T.I. and his wife Tiny has been accused of allegedly trafficking girls and assaulting a young woman. Okay, these rumors have come from her former associate and friend Sabrina Peterson. She's like some entrepreneur or something like that. Well, it all started when she made a post on Instagram accusing T.I. of threatening her with a gun in front of her kids or whatever. Yeah, and it gets weird because when she was asked, like, because somebody commented on the post and was like, why he do that or whatever, she said it's because, I was fighting his assistant that was treating Tiny like a slave. I'm like, okay. So obviously Tiny, she riding for her man. She was posting pictures and videos of Sabrina's children hanging out with T.I. and she captioned it like, oh, he was uncle 2 years ago. Like, what you talking about? Girl, you making up stuff, you lying, this, that, and the third. It's causing Sabrina to go on live. And the girl doubled back. She doubled down on what she said. She said, look, at the end of the day, that was 2 years ago. And at the end of the day, like, I guess he put a gun to my head or whatever. Like he attacked her. He tried to, like, allegedly.
Yeah.
Alleged.
Yeah.
I gotta make sure.
Until you get the facts.
Yeah. But she also claims that the couple lures women to have threesomes. Okay. We know this. Nicole Scherzinger said that, she was lured in. Rob Kardashian claims that Black China was doing stuff with T.I. and Tiny. Like, so this is not old news, but the part that's a little concerning is that she was pulling up Sabrina sheets of women saying that they were targeted and lured to have a threesome with T.I. and Tiny at a young age. Like she said, one of the girls said I was 16, drugs was involved. Like it's a mess. Like it's a real big mess. Even there was even one that recounted a time where Tiny got jealous because I guess T.I. was paying attention to the third person more, and she go ahead and try to whoop her ass, and she tried to defend herself, and T.I. choked the girl out. Like it's look, wow. I gotta put that allegedly.
Oh man.
It is a mess. Okay. Now, Shekinah, Shekinah was known for being Tiny's best friend. She was on Family Hustle. She got on live and was talking about Sabrina. Well, she said, girl, I don't know what you talking about, because at the end of the day, you were the one that was recruiting. And you mad because you wanted Tiny and she ain't want you. I'm like, child, not
oh my.
Like, what?
The girls are fighting.
The girls are fighting.
Nightmare.
Yeah, like
you just sit there and look at people like this, like, you know what? I'm not even showing up for work today. This is too much.
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised by the news though. Like there are a lot of like couples, like Hollywood couples, that because they have access and they have money, like I won't say able to get away with stuff like that, but they do have a different level of freedom than most people. And a lot of them actually their moral compass is typically non-existent. The more money you have, like the less more restrictions you you have.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was reading the story about like some of the younger girls, like even with the whole R. Kelly thing, these girls that they prey on are girls that you wouldn't think would say anything because they don't have anything. Like you have everything to gain from, you know, taking on this relationship or this like throughlehood with a rich famous couple who can pay for your silence. You know what I mean? Like bills are paid, you know, they have access to drugs, they have access to other celebrities. So you know, sometimes it looks as though there's going to be a payoff for participating in stuff like this, but the chickens always come home to roost. Like what's done in the dark always comes to light.
Back to light.
Yeah.
And, so now watching Tiny, her defense of the situation, I was like, well, I mean, what else can you say? Like, do we ever expect these celebrities to come out like, actually, yes, we do like having threesomes with 16-year-olds. Like,
it'll never be that honest.
Like,
yeah.
And you know, 16 to 20 preferably. And if the bitch looks better than me and he looks at her too long, I may punch her. Like, is that what we expected Tiny to say? It may or may not be the truth. Like, interesting to see how, you know, as far as deep as we've gotten into cancel culture, if it's going to be a thing. Like, is VH1 going to pull, you know, Family Hustle in the midst of these allegations? I mean, he's done all this other shit. He's going to jail for having guns and all this other stuff. But, you know, is this going to be the thing that gets the King of the South dethroned and up out of here? Is probably what we're going to be waiting to see. Or if they're going to be able to spin this trauma or this controversy into another reason people want to watch their show when it comes out.
Yeah, nothing.
But I think, okay, I ain't got an issue with you. You know, if you want to lure people in, you know, women to have sex with or whatever, unless they're, let me just rephrase that, unless they're of age, okay, 21 and what? No, y'all old as hell. 25 and up. You get what I'm saying? But the fact of the matter is, these are young women.
18 is the age of consent.
Huh?
18.
Oh, 1 second.
18 is the age of consent.
But some of these girls said they were 16.
I know. That's why I said 18. Like 18, you can do whatever you want to in this country.
Yeah, but 18 is a little. It's a little. Like, I'm a little funny when it, 18 really.
18 years old, a teenager, but it's illegal. And like you said, like 25 is a better age because you're more developed and you kind of like get an understanding of yourself. But people below that, like they're still trying to figure the shit. You know, like you're basically messing with someone who's like legally a child. You know, like a legal child.
Well, that's what that politics. I feel that these girls need to go to the police. These girls need to take this to court. I get that you're talking to this woman that has, well, not take whatever you got to do. You got to do it the right way and not like just, okay, you putting it on Instagram, but it's always going to be alleged until you try to contact, you know, report it. Like nothing is getting reported. Not saying that it's not right now. As we speak, it could be. Something could be. But you're gonna have to report it. And the friend, she looking real. Y'all ended my friendship, so I'm about to expose y'all. That's what's coming. But honey, you was doing the recruiting, apparently, allegedly. What's going on? It is chaotic. Like JD Celebrity's Child. People said it about the Smiths.
By who?
The Smith, Will Smith, Jaden Pinkett Smith.
They said what?
Oh, you said Smith. I thought you said.
Oh, they be having people. Oh, they
said that about them too.
As far as them swinging, it's been.
I know they like to swing and do threesomes and stuff, but it seems like they never had like an allegation like this,
right?
From what I know. Yeah, and I think like even with the police, like I think like
I was like, Jaden nobody asked so.
You said Jaden whooped nobody ass. Look, that is. I don't know how they can move from this if this comes out as true. Like, if any way, like,
yeah,
because you already
there is no real moving from that.
The only thing that's compelling me to believe this woman about the whole he put a gun to my head. T.I. is very disrespectful to women. Okay. There's many accounts of him saying certain things, so I wouldn't put it past him being like that.
To do these things.
things.
Yeah.
As far as the trafficking thing, like I said, we got to use alleged because we don't know. These are people on Instagram saying their stories, and I never want to say that you're not telling the truth, but I just need
Proof?
we need something. We need some factual evidence, some evidence
Documentation or something. Yeah. But like even like you said cop and I was like, but sometimes there's dirty cops. Like they're celebrities. Like who's to know if they're not bribing them?
right?
You know, like there's even if you say like trust the cops, trust the court system, has the court system really been in black people's favor anyway? Like I don't know about all that. I think their story is true. And I like that they're going I like that they're going to Instagram, but like if they could incorporate documentation or proof or something that shows it, I think we could just be our own judges. Like
it's going to stay in the hearsay category.
It's going to stay in the hearsay unless you actually showed that. If you want to like spread lies, not lies. Hold up. If you want to spread news or anything like that, you should at least show proof too, because what is hearsay, as you say, But I don't think like, just reporting and going to the cops is like the best way. It is a way, but it's not the best way, in my opinion, at least. Because there's dirty cops. There's dirty cops.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how they're going to respond to this. I mean, like you said it earlier about Tiny's response. It's like you're not really proving. Yeah, like you're not really proving anything. Like you're saying, okay, he was uncle 2 years ago. Okay, and
right, what they gotta do today?
What that mean? Right, what that mean? Like things don't change in the course of 2 years, honey.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
just tragic because like this is like that thing that like I was telling you about with like what I'm doing with black misogyny. Like this is like the exact example of it. You know what I mean? Like he's only doing that because he feels like he can. He has a system where it's empowering him to do things like that. And it's tragic because like you could just be using your money and your wealth and everything to do something better and to change the narrative for everyone, but you're using it to sex traffic, allegedly, like I don't know. It's just messed up.
We gonna pray for them, honey.
Hallelujah.
Prayers.
Yeah. A lot of prayers.
Okay. But one other thing I wanted to talk about, you guys been hearing about the whole situation with the with GameStop and the stock market.
This is new news to me. Please explain.
It's new news. I walk you through everything. Yes. But over the past couple months, Reddit users have been they have pushed up the value shares to the game retailer GameStop, despite Wall Street investors betting that the company will fail. In the progress, they sent stock up to more than 14,300% with wild fluctuations. Okay. So in the wake of these online market players, Wall Street with the whole situation, it created drama-filled memes and app training disasters and weird internet lingo. Like a lot of investors are talking about this situation. Basically what happened was, and they're calling it the Ponzi scheme. It was just basically a bunch of Reddit users that bought stock, I believe, for GameStop because it was failing. And GameStop, you grew up with GameStop. People love the store. This online stuff, it's not really efficient. So they all came together, but a lot of these big time investors are calling it like a scheme and stuff, and are saying that these people are they're cheating the system or whatever. When in all actuality, a lot of these investors, they've been doing this for years. But when regular people play the game and win,
they get mad.
It's rigged. And then it gets shut down because what happened was they halted any let me see what they said. They halted GameStop share trading. Like last Thursday.
Yeah, they stopped individual traders from being able to buy it. You could still sell it, but independent trading firms like Robinhood stopped from being able to buy it. And the real issue here is not so much as far as like we call them big time investors. What really happened was hedge funds who put money into diversified portfolios. And big tech is like it's like its own thing. Tech, game, and retail falls into that. It had been said that it was going to be a slow season for it.
Yeah.
And what happens is when you short a stock, you end up making more profit. So it's like you borrow a stock from the company, like say it's $10, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're able to borrow that stock, and then it drops down like $7. You know what I mean? Like you borrowed it for 10, and then you can sell it for $7. That's the value of the stock now. It's 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
You sell it, and then you get the stock back to the firm you borrowed it from, but you get to keep the $3 profit because you took it short. Like, hey, this is how much it's worth, and this is how much you gave it to me for, so I get to keep this extra $3. So that's what big companies were doing. They were playing the short game with 13 symbols, other than including GameStop. And the Reddit users organized like, hey, well, they're making a killing off of this. So if we buy more shares, it bumps it up, which means they end up taking losses as opposed to getting gains off of it. So that was the initial plan, was to raise the stock value up so that these hedge funds would lose. And I think they lost like $5 billion.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they started losing $5 billion, they started trading in a way the stock dropped, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people started buying it back up and watched the value go up, like you said, 14,000%.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now these people who were able to buy, GameStop, like $100 worth of GameStop shares, like now you're getting a chance to sit on like $10,000 because you realize what the big firms were doing.
Mm-hmm.
You took their method and applied it as an individual. And it wasn't that these are people who are investment traders. These are people who are day traders. Like you don't have a portfolio set up where you have like you're investing in medical and and banking outs and stuff. No, they got on that day and said, hey, I got $100. Me buy this and see what happens. And then they cashed out.
Okay.
That's what made them mad, because they feel like they organized, they rushed the market, they impacted the market and took the money and left. And hedge funds were highly upset about that. It's like, oh, we beat you at your own game. And so now that people know they can do that, it's spreading. Like other symbols like Dogecoin or something like Dogecoin or something like that. That's the next one that people are investing in. I told you I have Robinhood on my phone, so I'm looking like.
I know they got this thing on Cash App. They got the stocks, but I'm not sure if that's
like Bitcoin and stuff like that. So in my family, we trade with Forex. Like there's like 4 of us. And that's,
okay. I didn't know that.
Well, you ain't got to know everything, but that's just one way. But that's just one way that we're trying to build wealth. I think that every family should have some form of wealth generation. Like
Yes.
Black families, like most Black families in America now, nobody owns a home. Like y'all save y'all money together and at least buy a piece of land together. Buy it, like get something that gets equity. Put y'all money together and get some stocks. Y'all put money together to buy shirts for family reunions. You can't put money together to invest in the stock market.
Things have got to change, because people believe that I just want to have one job and it's going to pay for everything, but it's not. You got to have multiple income.
All types of jobs now.
It's funny how you say that. I literally seen this video of this this I guess rich trader or whatever, investor, whatever, it was talking like he was complaining. Listen to this.
Mm-hmm. What it's doing is people are sitting at home getting the checks from the government, okay? And this fair share is a bullshit concept. It's just a way of attacking wealthy people, and I think it's inappropriate. We all got to work together and pull together. The reason
he's a hedge fund millionaire.
Oh Jesus. The rich has benefited.
We sat there and collect that stimulus check, and we're just sitting, wow, it's a scheme. Probably scheming us for a millennia. Okay, generation from generation. Okay, so just because we want to do what you're doing, not we want to do what you're doing, but like we do it, we play your game and win. And that's why I have issues with this country. It's like every time you want to elevate to us, every time people wants to elevate to a certain extent, like the government comes in and be like, no, y'all can't do that.
Right.
Y'all supposed to be making this money. Y'all supposed to be, look,
Yeah, because at the end of the day, they just want us to be workers, not,
Yes.
millionaires and part of like the elitists. Because when you get higher, you start to have more influence, and their influence, they want to keep it to the rich influence, the wealthy influence. They don't want like poor people mindsets coming in and infiltrating them and making everything
Everybody's
equal.
rich. No one's
Yeah,
rich.
everybody's rich. If everybody's rich, that means you have like you might have workers, but you're not gonna have a lot of workers. You don't get to do the things that you have the benefit of doing. Like, for example, I think it's called like tax write-offs or something like that, where like companies like could go into different state not yeah, companies could go into different states and like, buy land and like they don't have to pay taxes on it. What's that called? I forgot. Is that tax write-offs? Something like that? I think you know what I'm talking about, right? Like Amazon. What?
Yeah, like different their tax breaks. What are we talking about?
Yes, yeah, tax breaks and stuff like that. Yeah, like the rich do that all the time. There's so many benefits that the rich could have, but as soon as poor people or like, people want to elevate themselves, as you say, it's an issue because you need workers, you need people to like act as slaves. Like there's so many companies that are doing that and have that mindset of just keeping people down instead of actually coming together. But when an issue comes up that they could make profit off of, they pretend to care. Like remember, a lot of people were doing this when George Floyd died, where like a lot of companies, churches and stuff like that were like doing like these initiatives for Black people. It's like, let's put a Black people higher because it's going to make more profit. And then in reality, not in reality, but like when they were releasing it to the public, they're like, we care about Black people. We want Black people to succeed together. Let's help Black people. But in reality, they didn't care because it just made profit. That's all they care about, really.
So I just feel like, first of all, I have to remind people all the time, we live in an imperial capitalist society. So wealth equality is, or the idea of wealth equality is an assault to wealthy people, or an assault to capitalism, right? We have this idea where we have this country where everyone should have a fair chance to make money and to attain the American dream. The problem is that people who are wealthy and influential understand that as the wealth and affluence, as that spreads, their idea of the pie gets thinner, right? So I own this share of the pie, but as there are more people taking parts of this pie, my share is going to get smaller. Even if that small share of the pie is like $14 billion, you don't want to see someone who was raised in lower working class become a multi-millionaire, multi-billionaire. Because what that does is it creates a blueprint for other poor people to become rich. And if we have a country full of rich people, then somebody's going to have to become the new version of the poor people, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so listen to that man about, this whole fair share thing is bullshit. It's like, well, to them, they hear it as communism or socialism. Like, okay, well, because I have more, I now have to cover all these people that don't have anything. And it's like, well, yeah, you should want to at least make sure that the people that are working to build your wealth are healthy. Like, I don't understand how rich wealthy people do not want universal health care. Like, you have the choice to pay for your top tier health care because you have the resources to do that. But you want people to work for your companies. I can't work for you if I'm sick. You should probably want me to be able to go to the hospital if I get sick because I can't come to work. I don't. You know what I mean? As far as like the trading and being part of the market, controlling the market is a is for capitalists, especially the free market in America. And it's like, as time goes on, you're seeing more and more, especially millennials, like we have access to everything on our phone. And we may not want to go to your office and work at the same place for 20 years like our grandparents did. And we ain't trying to find no factory jobs. No, we don't want to do all that. We want to be able to work from home. We want to be able to travel when we want to. We want to be able to push buttons on our phones and wake up in the morning and see like $10,000 in our bank account. That's what we want. And these old rich people just have to either get with it or die and move on.
Exactly. It's not like everyone is trying to be like a millionaire. Some people just want to live comfortable. Some people just want financial freedom. That doesn't particularly mean billionaire, millionaire, whatever this, that, and the third. Just being able to sustain life without, burning out.
This concept from Tiffany, I don't know if you follow the Budgetnista on Instagram, but she was talking about this new concept on Instagram Live the other day about financial wholeness. Like, Yeah, being financial freedom, that's like, I won't say like temporary. That's just making sure like your bases are covered and you can, move and manipulate things. But like financial wholeness is a whole different concept. Like it affects every part of your life. And I think that as we, especially during this pandemic, it's caused us to look at everything. Like we're looking at everything like, damn, like if I get out of this, what do I want to do different? Like the old way of living wasn't working for us. It brought us here. It wasn't working. And so we have to move different, and we have to move smarter. So salute to all those people that made all that coin off GameStop. I don't even play video games. But I was like, damn, I wish I would have bought me some stock at $11 before it went up.
All right, before that shit went up.
Yeah.
Okay. That just goes to show what a group of people can do when there's a business that they love and they want to keep it afloat.
Exactly.
We were just talking before the show even started, like, a lot of people, one of the reasons, because I wanted to talk about this because we talked about this in my business class, and it was like, well, why do people still want GameStop? Because you can get stuff online. Well, GameStop was not just a place where you just buy games, you also get advice. Like if you don't know how to work something, if you don't know how to use something, you're new to it or whatever, you can talk to one of the gurus. That's why when you work there, I tried to work there many times. It was like, you got to know about this game system, that game system, that game system to work with. We're not just selling CDs.
Yeah.
Best Buy.
Yeah. So it's a lot more. So when you're online, I could just know from experience because I play Sims, and when that game messed up, bitch, it's on you. Because if you try to sit there and call EA or anybody else for technical support, they give you the runaround. But
I
think
it takes forever to get help.
GameStop is where it is. Okay. They also tried to help out AMC because AMC is tanking.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, nobody's going to the movie theaters because we're all in the house.
Yeah.
AMC should have just invested in an app and did it the same. I mean, where it's like, if a movie is coming to AMC, like you need to have the AMC app. So the same day that it would drop in theaters, it drops on your phone. They did
try that, but it was like this watch on demand stuff. I'm not paying $29 to watch a movie.
Huh?
Yeah.
Thank you, HBO Max. No, because HBO Max taking their jobs, honey, because all the movies that's going to be in AMC, this coming to HBO Max, which I just got now. Shout out to HBO Max.
$30 to watch not one movie, especially if you're not going to mail popcorn and Skittles to my house.
Well, it was like 19. I think it was 30 because they count the family. They think, oh, well, it's probably gonna be a huge family watching it, so let's just charge them. Girl, no, you should have made a streaming service.
Smart, like we want to watch a $30 movie. We're going to charge you to come to our house to watch it on the big screen.
Okay, because I know goddamn well if we would have paid $30 to watch that damn Wonder Woman movie, I swear to God, I would have won money back. We watched that thing on HBO Max, didn't pay a dime.
Yeah, we just watched it last week. I actually liked it.
You liked Wonder Woman?
I liked the first one too.
The first one was really good. No, the first one was great.
This one was different, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. I don't know if I would have. I would have paid for it. If I, when you watch a movie, like, that was free. That was a good free moment.
You wouldn't have went to the movies to watch this.
Definitely don't think I would have paid for it. Not for the expense that I had last time. Like last time, me and Deontay, we went and I think we saw it in like 3D, and like had in like in the middle and was just like this the whole time.
Yeah, it was good.
At home, light up the hookah, put it on.
Right. Well, they said Godzilla versus King Kong is going to be the next big blockbuster film
for the Asian.
Oh, we like Godzilla too, and we love King Kong.
I love King Kong.
Yeah,
I don't know about Godzilla. I love King Kong.
Well, most Americans do like King Kong.
Yeah, that's what I tried.
Knocking buildings down with Power Rangers.
Did you say like Power Rangers?
What?
Like those Power Rangers, it's gonna be a bunch of just destruction.
Well, no, I'm not expecting it to be like a masterpiece. Like this is excellent character development. I want to see King Kong fight Godzilla. Who gonna win? Yeah. Just like when we watched Obsession, we want to see Beyonce fight this.
Yes.
I never could understand if King Kong and Godzilla are both villains, or are they both like heroes?
Well, the way the trailer set up, Godzilla is the villain. He's like messing. He's knocking down buildings and destroying.
Reptar does that.
No, not Reptar. So King Kong is being sent to the city to like fight off Godzilla, and it's gonna be like this epic battle. Like I said, I'm here for the fight.
Y'all want to see a monkey fight a dinosaur? This is.
He ain't finna fade them. Let me see.
The way he said it was hilarious.
You know, I think it's gonna be like a Batman versus Superman. Like they fight in the beginning, and it'll be like a third party villain that's really pulling the strings, and then they gotta both fight them.
Like an alien drop from the sky and be like,
well, actually, I'm gonna destroy your world too. So, let's work together.
Yeah,
that's probably what's gonna give, but I'm still watching anyway. Look, it's on HBO Max. I ain't paying a dime for this.
I'll wait till it's free. I'll wait for it to be.
Yeah, when does it come out?
Ooh, let me look now because I gotta add it. There's this other show that's coming on. It's a UK show, and it's about like the gay scene in the 80s. One of the singers I listen to. Where's my HBO Max? All right, guys, hold on, because you know this Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Oh no, they don't got my see. I'm still learning how to work this app. I can't find my
your watch list.
My watch list. But it's coming out sometime. I think I want to. Well, don't quote me. It's coming out. It's just coming out.
It's just coming out.
No, but there's this other show. I think it's called It's a Sin or whatever, and it's like it's talking about the.
Oh yeah, I saw the trailer for that.
I think it's almost like a white pose, but not, but like not. It doesn't have like ballroom scene or anything like that. Like I think it's the UK's depiction of what happened. Like I don't think they're not in New York.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that'd be interesting to see the difference because we always get the New York scene or like the LA scene.
Like how the rest of the world was dealing with this situation.
Exactly. Yeah. That's really interesting.
On my watch list as well.
Speaking of that, you know,
the gays.
BT. Jojo Siwa came out as part of the LGBT community. Jojo posted a picture of herself on social media wearing a shirt that read "Best Gay Cousin Ever," and she sat down and had like a lengthy Instagram video explaining herself. Go ahead and take a listen to this.
I am really, really, I'm really happy. And now that the world gets to see this side of my life, it makes me really, really happy. I've been happy in this land for a minute now. And now though that I just get to share that with the world, it's awesome. And I'm just so happy and it's just so amazing. And I want people to know that there is so much love in the world. There's so much love, and it is so incredible and so amazing. And
period. We with you, Jojo. You know,
I think she sounded so cute. She's like, "There's so much love in the world," and I'm like, "Before
I wish I had that enthusiasm, child. I was scared as hell. I was like, "Oh my god, like, what if my parents find out?" Because at first I didn't tell my parents. I was like, "What if my parents find out? What if like I get, ousted or kicked out or anything like that?" Because look, let me tell you something. I was thinking the worst. My parents did not know this. Ain't gonna listen to this anyway, honey. I had a bag packed just in case, because I had to let them know. Because I remember coming out. I had to let them know because I was going to prom with a guy. Yeah. And it was eating me up alive. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to tell them. I don't want to tell them last minute. And then like, shit, I can't go because they're not gonna help me get the suit or whatever. And I'm like, what if I get kicked out or whatever? I sent my mom a text, honey, turned off the phone for the rest of the day of school. Oh, but wow. It wasn't what but he got over it. But it definitely was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird. Like it was weird. It was a weird couple months when I came out. When I came out of school, I ain't caring nothing about them hoes. Okay, yeah, this is who I am. What's up?
Yeah.
But her coming out to the world, and we're all in positivity while people with common sense either praised or mind their business. There's been a plethora of angry parents that
it's always the parents. I feel like it's always
their child's idol is part of the LGBT community. I wasn't.
That's surprising.
That's why I'm surprised they didn't take me out of Facebook, because I definitely got into some arguments about that. I've unfriended some people. Like, at the end of the day, this ain't, and I can understand. Okay, I can almost understand if we're talking about a cartoon. Okay, fine, y'all have that, but this is an actual person who is what? How old is she? What? 18?
Probably 45 at this point. I don't know, child. That JoJo never ages, so.
What do you mean not 45?
Probably.
She's like 23, 22.
She's not 23. She's definitely 18, I think.
Oh, she's still
younger than me.
Damn, I thought she was grown years ago.
No, she's younger than me.
You know what they say? White. Let me stop.
You know they age like bananas, but
17 years old, honey. I was 15. I was 15 when I came out, honey. That's 17. That's the right age. Well, no age is the right age, but that's the age where you almost kind of figure out what you're gonna be doing. Like, for most people.
Yeah. Do you think this is a question I have for you guys? Do you think it would have been different if she didn't have her influence, like her being rich and famous? Do you think her coming out would have been like different?
She's a white girl, so white girl coming out as a lesbian, or like, who cares? I think that, like, that was me. That's why, you know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, after Ellen did it, we don't care, girl. Like,
right?
Like, go do what you want to do.
Yeah.
My concern was like, okay, well, the parents not being able to like separate the two. It's like, okay, well, 10 years ago we were watching Hannah Montana, and then, you know, Miley Cyrus became Miley Cyrus. She owned her own identity, and she was out there doing fucking crack or whatever she was doing, and she was all over the place, and people were always like, oh my God, my daughter grew up loving Hannah Montana. And I think it's like, okay, well, you know, these characters are fake. Like Jojo Siwa, that's her. She's made her brand as like, you know, as like being that like little teeny bopper or whatever. But like, this is a real person. She has a real life, and she's allowed to live in her truth, regardless of what your kid watches on TV for entertainment. And also, it's like, I was watching the comments, like my daughter can't watch her show anymore. You know, her coming. I was like, JoJo came out on Instagram. If your 4-year-old has an Instagram, then something's wrong with you.
Parent, yeah.
You know, I mean, like, your child doesn't know anything about what's going on in her real life. Children ain't reading the blogs. Like,
children don't care.
They are, though, because these parents are giving them phones and tablets, so, and they're watching this.
Oh, that's true too.
Reading about JoJo coming out on, they don't care. These
they don't. Yeah, but they don't care. Yeah,
and like the balloons and shit like that. And I feel like the parents are the ones that are ruining it for the kids. And it's like, okay, now looking at the parenting age bracket now, I think now that I'm in my 30s, I'm like, okay, well, these are like people in my cohort. Like, these are people that are like between 30 and 40. I'm like, y'all know better. Like, y'all know what it was like for us growing up, and we're supposed to be raising a generation that's more accepting, more loving. We've seen the examples. We've seen what harm it does when we try to like force our own moral standards on other people. And like, we're supposed to be raising children to be better than we are. And because they have access to more information now than we did, and our parents and definitely our grandparents did, it's like, okay, well, kids are going to come to themselves earlier. Kids are coming out now in like 5th grade. Like, yeah, I like boys. And that's what it is. And I feel like we have to give children a chance to discover themselves and their own journey within reason. I understand that parents always want their children to be safe and make decisions that are going to be, you know, what we hope is the best for them. But like, JoJo, the character JoJo is not real. Like, that's make believe. So whatever she does in her real life shouldn't have anything to do with what your kids are taking away from her from entertainment.
And that's her business. And at the end of the day, like, when it comes to, because this all stems from the whole agenda thing, we've talked about this many times on this show.
By gay people, like, I want that to be clear. Like,
and I also think that it's like you're disrespecting your own kids because you think that they're that dense that they could be influenced just by watching something on television. Like, their kids are smarter than that. Like, kids make their own path. They're going to make their own path.
But the reality is, for some parents, is yes, that is a fear because And this happens. There are some adults that walk around that are actually heavily influenced, and there are people who are influenced by what they see in their social space. There's a whole study of it's called sociology, how we make our decisions, how we identify with certain things, experiences we have, and how it shapes us as people. And so some of these parents are afraid that if a person that my child looks up to says, "Hey, I'm gay," my child is impressionable. And they're going to start experimenting and saying, well, maybe I can be gay too, because they make it look like it's so much fun. If you actually listen to parents, like, you're glorifying this lifestyle that makes me fear for my child. As a Black queer man raised by a single Black woman, I had to kind of start diving into like those kind of conversations, saying, what is it that y'all are afraid of? Like, why do you have this disdain for it? Is it that you just don't like gay people? Like, is it like, do you think that it's like some life of perversion? Like, what is it that you don't like? And a lot of them are more like, no, because I know how the world is for people like you, and they are killing people for living openly this way, and it makes me feel for safety. So it does add a different dynamic. Saying,
my mom said when I first came out,
it's like if you have people who have influence over children, saying, okay, well, I like this lifestyle, I enjoy it, I'm happier this way, and blah 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 blah. It's like, okay, well, I'm gonna do that too. It's like, well, no, you can't do that like her, because it's different for you, especially for Black children. So I guess, like, you're Black, that's the first strike. You're a male, that's the second strike. You know what I mean? If you're walking outside living that life at a younger age, now and than it would be for a 17-year-old white girl with money who can be protected.
Oh yes.
You get what I'm saying? So so on the flip side of the coin, I get it. I get the concern. However, attacking this girl for living her truth or acting like it's gonna make a difference in her brand, like, it's not. Like, who cares?
Yeah. Can you imagine if this was a Black influencer or child star?
Raven Simone had to wait till she was well in her 20s, and she's still sending her cousin money before she could actually say that she was gay. She couldn't have said that when she was on That's So Raven. She couldn't have done that.
It was a little different time though. It was a different time back in That's So Raven time.
10 years ago?
10 years ago, people were still openly saying the F word to people. Like, that was literally said, ain't nobody say nothing. And nobody's and people was literally seeing it on social media. Raven, actually social media.
I don't know about that.
2011?
Openly on, like, what, on air? I don't know about well, I mean,
not on air, but on Twitter. Like social media.
In any case, even so, I just don't think that it's not the same. Like, that's just the reality. It doesn't have the same impact.
Yeah.
Be watching these white women about their kids and her being their idol, and they can't watch it because she's glorifying a lifestyle they don't believe in. Well, nobody told you that JoJo was sanctioned by the church. So,
okay. Hello.
I say, and first of all, with the reputation that Disney has, period. Like, for years, you've known, like, they turn out stars that become drug addicts, commit suicide. They become the Britney Spears. Like, that's what happens to Disney stars. Like,
JoJo's with Disney. I thought she was with
Nickelodeon. Same thing.
No, same thing. I'm just saying, like, I wasn't sure.
That's Hollywood. Like, kids, you get them and you put them in these programs. Their job is to drive entertainment. Your job is to get in there, make people excited, and spin it from a TV show to a tour. Drop this little album. You're gonna turn 18, and then you're gonna drop your sex tape, and then you go about your business and make the rest of your money. Like, that's the formula.
I can't with you.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
We've seen this so many times where it's like, you can't be surprised. She come out next month and say, yeah, well, I'm addicted to meth, whatever. Like, oh, okay, that's on brand. It's on brand for child stars. So I think the outrage is just, at this point, like, girl, get over it. Okay, she's gay. And you're going to be tuning in. And if your child say, Mama, I want to go to this concert, because you don't want to disappoint your child, you're going to go and you'll be mad the whole time.
See, one of the comments I put, I was like, ain't nobody stopping you, though. Like, ain't nobody stopping you. And my thing is this: if you're gonna sit there, I also said, because I was posting up a storm. I'm like, if y'all gonna sit there and ban your children from watching Jojo Siwa or whatever, y'all might as well take the tablets away. Y'all might as well take the entire TV out the house. Because at the end of the day, we're not going nowhere. We're not minimizing. And
what
else to say? Like, we're not going nowhere.
Yeah. Just to like add on, I think something that parents don't like to admit is that they live vicariously through their children, even if it's just a little bit. right? So here they are like telling their kids what to do, who to be, what to wear and everything, because they are living vicariously through them, you know? So they don't really acknowledge the fact that kids have a choice, and kids, you know, have a right to their own ideologies and beliefs and stuff, because again, they're formulating based on what they see, you know? And another thing too is that it's funny how these parents are like attacking the kids for like, not the kids, but attacking her for like coming out and stuff and saying they're not going to watch a show. But these are the same parents that allow their children to see like two people kissing, you know, straight people kissing on screen, or like, you know, if they see a pornographic image, they're not going to like reprimand them or anything. But like, you know, these are the same parents who are doing that, or telling their kids like, oh, my girl is going to be a heartbreaker because like, you know, she's going to get all the boys, or telling the boy like, oh, you're going to be a player, things like that. Like, when it comes to influencing their straight ideologies onto their children, it's okay. Even if it's like super sexual, it's okay. But when it comes to like telling your kids, like, you know, saying like, oh, my child's going to be gay someday and I'm going to love it. Like, it's all like, what? God, what are you doing? Like, shame on you. Like, it's wrong. And you should give your children the freedom to express themselves, because when you stifle them, that's when they rebel and they have a hard time, you know, regulating themselves. Yeah. And then they're going to have identity issues and all types of issues just because you didn't want to accept who they say they were. You know, like, of course, you got to guide them, of course. Like, for me personally, I don't think like you should let them do everything, because not everything is good for you, you know, but at the same time, you should let them express it, hear them out, listen to them, you know, and you let them see, like, you guide them and you see along with them who they choose to be, what they choose to do. Because at the end of the day, that's their body. When you die, you're not going to go in their body. You're just going to die in your body, you know, like the child has to live their life and their truth.
Period.
A lot of kids like pet projects to like like you said, living vicariously through them, to like redo the stuff that they didn't get a chance to do. Like, I have a child now, which means I get to live again, and you know, you get
it's a mini me.
Yeah, like a mini me. You know, when I was growing up, like my mom said, like I never really liked the idea of like having kids, because I didn't like the kids that I grew up with.
Yeah.
I mean, I had friends, but you know, like you look at kids like, that's what y'all a lot, and I know I was a lot.
Yeah.
As a kid. But I was always still my own person. Like, I understood my personhood at a very early age. And, you know, growing up, or like, especially the adolescent age, like 12 to like 17 was really hard, because I felt like, okay, well, me embracing my person, that it creates more of a challenge or a friction than it would to be just, let me just do what they're doing, so that it doesn't be conflict, or, you know. And that was a struggle for me in my early 20s, like trying to figure out like how to balance that. Like, how do I operate in this world as myself and me being happy, as well as trying to fit into what other people like and see as normal and like non-threatening and all this other shit. And then after a while, you just get over it.
Yeah.
And I feel like if there were more people in my life as a kid who were saying, hey, it's actually okay for you to just be who you are. Like, my grandmother's always been that way, but like, just be who you are. There's space for everybody. You know, as you grow up, you learn the things that you learn, what to take and what to give, that will shape you as a being. And as I get older, I'm realizing like sexuality, and even in gender expression, like I feel like that's just not one of those things that you have to get from another person. You just have to find out what's comfortable for you and how you want to project yourself in the world. Yeah. So to Jojo for being an example of like, you know what? Yes, this is the character I play on TV, but I'm actually really happy in my life being who I am. So take the section part away from it. Like, most parents are missing, like, it's not just about her saying, yes, I like women, or her sexuality. Like, no, it's like this person that your child's looking up to is saying, hey, I'm excited about being who I am, and there is love here. There's being who you are, straight, gay, white, black, you know, there's love there, and that there's enough for all of us. So I feel like those parents that are complaining in the message, in the comments, like, you totally missed the message, because you got because the sexuality was the forward part that drew you in.
Was a deal breaker. That's like, what?
Totally missed the message.
They always do. Not just with like LGBTQ, they always miss the message when it comes to a lot of these issues, you know, and that's why we still have issues, you know, because they're teaching, like, there's a comment that you guys made about like, just get rid of the old people, and stuff. And it's like, if the old, yeah, you did, right? And it's like, even if you got rid of the old people, those old people are still teaching the generation right now, how to be. So it's like, it's not even an issue about like the age, it's about what your mindset is, your ideologies, and then what you're telling them. Like, I remember, like, in my childhood, like, that would be unacceptable, to even like say I identify in the LGBTQ community, like, that's just like not acceptable. And my family was like hypercritical, just on me to like be a certain way, to do a certain things, to get the good grades, to do this, to do that, and so I had identity issues all the time, because it's like I never had the time to figure out my personhood. So now that I'm trying to figure out, like, okay, well, I like this, I can do this, and I want to do this, but back then it's like there was just so much pressure, like these parents, to just be a certain way, and that I know in my own life, like, just doing that to a child is definitely going to give them a recipe for disaster in their internal being, their spirit, because they're always going to keep battling with what you want them to be and who they are constantly inside.
Yeah. That's not fair.
Yeah.
Not fair. Good point.
It's not fair. Mm-hmm.
So if there are already 4-year-olds that are watching our show right now, just be who you are. It's like,
be who you are.
Yeah, take your time and learn yourself, and the world is going to make a space for you.
Right.
You have no choice to.
Yeah. But yeah, so shout out to
Jojo.
Shout out to Jojo. We happy for you.
Yes.
Well, one last thing I wanted to talk about, guys, was Married to Medicine. It is coming back. I believe season 8.
Yeah. One time.
You'll be back.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming.
Okay, she'll be back. Married to Medicine is coming back. We talked about it a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about how, I was a little frustrated that Miss Quad is not there. A lot of people was mad that Miss Mariah wasn't there either.
I just a lot of people, I'm pissed off that Mariah would be on this goddamn.
Oh yeah, you wasn't Mariah. You like the.
It's like I like all the girls that get kicked off the show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, listen, Mariah had her moments. I think that she was great for the show. I just think that her struggle was like trying to maintain her space as the queen bee. Mm-hmm. And it's like, well, this isn't the type of show that requires that. You know what I mean? And I also don't think that a lot of the other cast members truly respected her in a way that created that kind of space for her. So maybe a good thing that she's not on the show anymore. But the whole her and Quad thing was getting kind of tired because they were really friends for the show. And that's another thing, like watching people's personal relationships crumble because of reality TV, it's kind of like sad. You know what I mean? Kind of sad. But unlike Real Housewives of Atlanta, I'm still gonna watch this show. Like I'm gonna watch Married to Medicine because I like more of the girls on this show than I did on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like I think Heavenly is hilarious. I think she's problematic and toxic. But
she always got something to say. She already coming for the new girls,
right?
New girl, because I guess she's not a doctor.
Which one, Lisa or
No, well, Lisa's coming back Lisa and Quad are coming back as friends. It's not like Quad is not going to be there.
Right.
She's going to be back as she's back. Okay.
I heard that she only did 3 episodes. I looked at that yesterday. Like she's there, but she's really not there. Like
who?
Because remember contracts went out, but like last summer, right? Like at the last season, the reports came out that the contracts had came out, and that I didn't get a contract and Quad didn't get a contract. Toya went live to talk about her. It's like Toya went live and she said, yeah, some of the girls ain't come out blah. And she hates Mariah. Like she hates Mariah. But, we knew she was talking about. And then her situation with Quad, then Quad went live and was speaking about people don't know anything about anybody's contracts. He said until those cameras start rolling and you see who's there, that's when you'll know what's happening. So people should probably just mind their business. And I was like, I'm like, you ain't got yours either. But as soon as they canceled Circle, I was like, well, damn, what Quad gonna do for money? Because she ain't married to that man no more. They canceled the show. Like,
yeah, so Sister Circle.
Right. Like, what Quad, what's gonna be good? And if they around the show, who's she gonna be arguing with now?
Girl, she about to get a $5,000 check to be on what for 3 You said 3 episodes?
They're like, what's the tea? Like, why are you here?
You better start a podcast, girl.
Right.
To do something.
All the rest of you, you removed Atlanta girls, better start y'all show together. I think her, Kim Zolciak, Lisa Wu, Mariah, Sheree. They should just create their own thing.
Not create that. Go ahead.
Make y'all money, y'all. Just
make y'all money, okay?
Random lunches together for no reason. Like, what are these girls doing together? Well,
not what these girls doing together. We'll definitely see what's going on.
I'm excited to see. I'm glad to see the debate coming, or like the way they shifted. Like there's going to be more wives of doctors there. So Toya and Mariah aren't there like by themselves. You know, like you can actually like see, you know, like how the doctors treat the wives of the doctors. So I'm ready to see how that goes down. Yeah.
I also want to see Dr. Jackie and Dr. Simone.
Makeup?
Not makeup, but like what is going on with them? Like I need to know what else, like why did they all of a sudden just started beefing or whatever? Like I don't know. And I want to say it's on Simone part because you know I don't like Simone. She loud.
You like got that teeth loud?
See, so I know y'all not over here talking. Oh my God, girl. Turn it down. But no, I just want to see what's going on with them because I would have never thought they would, you know, they always been bosom buddies, but you know, I don't know. The way Simone moves, it's like if you're moving like and you're not letting her know, like it's a problem. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna let you know anything. Like we not together, honey. We friends. And we're reality TV friends at that. You know, that's why I didn't like when she came for Quad because Quad was okay, she was doing her new thing, or it may have appeared that she was treating her Sister Circle castmates better than the castmates on Married to Medicine. At the end of the day, I ain't gotta let you know nothing.
Right. I want to double back. So you had said like the whole situation between Jackie and Simone. So by season 7, you know that Dr. Heavenly had got into it with like there was like a Twitter war between her and Cecil, husband. And I think she had said something like, you know, glad to see that he's back working and not tweeting because she said you like a little bitch, you always in girls' business or whatever, something like that.
Ooh, yeah.
Or something like that. And Simone was like checking Heavenly, you know what I mean? And so she got involved and she went back, you know, she exposed that Heavenly's husband has a drinking problem and, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And Jackie, when they asked Jackie, you know, how she felt about it, she said that she believed that Simone owed Heavenly an apology for the way that she acted.
Child.
And Simone disagreed. And I think that's what caused the tension between Dr. Jackie and Simone, because Simone believed that, you know, Jackie was taking Heavenly's side. And, you know, if you've been watching the show, you know that Dr. Jackie, she kind of like, she don't straddle the fence. She just, you know, she's just not one of those people that you're going to push.
She's on everybody's, not,
yeah,
she's neutral.
She reminds me a lot of the Grand Dame from Real Housewives of Potomac. Karen, yeah. It reminds me of Karen a lot. When it comes to conflict. So we'll see in season 8. They say they made up at the reunion, or made up like after the reunion. So we should be seeing the restoration.
They already taped the reunion
from season 7. So I'm saying is they after the reunion they started to like restore their friendship.
Yeah, so but they're still talking. They're still talking about it in scenes though. Well, did you see the trailer?
Yeah, I saw the trailer. What I'm saying is for season 8, we get to watch them restore their friendship. Like we get to watch them like build back into that space of them being at least cordial. Oh,
well. All right. Well, I'll be happy to see it.
Sounds like interesting.
This stuff, you know, we're gonna get to see it, but like this stuff was taped like 8 months ago. So of course it's still going to be some of the scenes in the beginning are going to be from where they were, where they took off from, but eventually they get to that point. So I'm excited to see it. Good job to all the Black women on reality TV, keeping us entertained during this panoramic.
Panoramic.
Not panoramic.
Yeah. This Panasonic has been hard on everybody. It's been very boring.
This pandemonium.
Right, this pandemonium. So I'm excited to see all the girls come back to TV.
Yeah. And I hope to see Real Housewives of Atlanta get better because
Woo.
What are y'all doing?
Like, what happened? This could have been a YouTube special. We even need y'all to come on Bravo this season.
At this point, like, come on now. Now I am kind of a little getting ready for this whole showdown between Drew Sidor and Toya because I like to watch newbies like get into it because the newbies they always want to play it safe. Like Shamari played it safe. What's her name played it safe too. America's Runway Model. Like she played it safe. Like
I don't know, Eva got on my nerves.
Eva, she played it safe, but like she was acting like she was about to get into it, but she never gets into it, and that's why she didn't stay.
That goes a lot.
But I like to see that like Toy, even though people call like my mom don't like her because she said she's just a baby Kenya. I'm like I like that. Like it's I like that. I like that Kenya has a little
basically
sidekick.
Mm-hmm. Like, oh my God, this is too much. It's like it's like watching them reminds me of like girls who are pledging. Like they you bring in these new girls, you recruit, and then like collectively try to haze them, see what their breaking points are, get all their tea, and then at the end it's like, oh, we're sisters and we're a family, but like you just spent the whole fucking like 6 months like dragging me, and like so. We'll see how this works out. Drew's relationship bothers me a little bit. Like I don't want to watch her and her husband. I can't see me watch I can't following them. Like I don't care about him. Like I want her to get a divorce. But then again, it's like I try not to judge other people's relationships. You don't know what their problems are. You don't know what their reality is. But like on screen, like his vibe just I don't like him. And it's different than like when Peter was on screen. Like I enjoyed Peter. Like even though him and Cynthia were going like in their shit, like I still enjoyed Peter Thomas being on screen. I like engage with each other and watching them try to figure out their relationship, even when
this boy disrespectful. Like he literally and like Drew just lets him. I'm like, child.
Like he's an asshole.
Yes.
I feel like he should have been married to Kenya. I would have watched him be married to Kenya. I'd rather watch Kenya go through this kind of shit. Sad to say it, but I would rather watch Kenya go through this.
I mean, she didn't though.
We didn't get to see it. We didn't get to watch it. We only got to watch maybe 2 episodes with her and Mark engaging with each other.
That season, he's that man right there. I forgot his name, but he's giving me Mark vibes. Like he is a baby Mark. Like that's why I don't see how Drew Sidor and Kenya ain't friends, child.
Well, they may, Kenya may break that wall, and but Drew's prettier than Kenya to me, so Kenya ain't trying to be friends with that girl. Kenya is very intimidated by new cast members.
She's intimidated by Drew.
She treated like Kim feels. Like I just don't like Kenya. Kenya's ugly, and I'm not just talking about her physical appearance. Okay, she's really attractive, but she's an ugly person. So you're an ugly person. You're ugly.
And unfortunately, this is coming from me because you like to say I'm such a Kenya. Like she would never be a Nene. I'm not. Like I like them all equally. Like I'm like there's times that I like Kenya, there's times that I like Candy. Hell, there's times I like Cynthia. Like they all bring, and there's times I like Nene. Shit, look, okay.
I feel like Drew was supposed to fill in that space for like the Nene archetype, as far as like being the hood girl that kind of made it, and then still having that element of like, bitch, I'm still from the hood, and I will fuck you up. Like even this new trailer was like, don't try me, I'm from Chicago. Like that's Chicago, bitch. I've been able to see that side of Drew come out and how she's gonna gather these girls. That would be more entertaining because she came in and is like, listen, I'm married, I'm happy, somewhat. We have problems. We're trying to work through it, and I'm still trying to progress in my career. She's not gonna take Kenya's shit.
Like Nene said, it's gonna take a whole entire team, an army of cast members to replace Nene. Like Nene just is. I don't even think like I know like it's kind of cliche to say like people are irreplaceable because everyone's replaceable, but like I just can't see nobody.
Right.
What New York, Tiffany Pollard, but like it'll be too crazy.
Nah.
Like Jocelyn Hernandez.
They have their own brands of being reality divas. I'd rather see all of them on the show together, honestly. But no, I just think that, and I think that, you know, because Nene was kind of like very central to the show as far as getting these girls together in the first place, and us understanding that Nene Leakes, regardless of how, you know, her relationship was with her cast members, that she was very central and grounding to the show. With her not being there, it just feels off as a fan of the show and someone that's been watching since the beginning. It just doesn't feel like the show without her. And I don't think it was fair in the way that they
got rid of her
for the sake of a Kenya Moore.
It was like a job trying to take you off the schedule, like purposely so you can quit.
Oh yeah, that happened to me this week. You're like, that happened to me this week.
They just trying to Nene Leakes you.
Everybody, they just trying to Nene me, but
I won't do that. I won't Nene Leakes you.
Damn right, because if so, I'm gonna be right there on Tamara Hall crying, just like Nene was.
Oh, he said, "Do you want to go back on the show, though?"
Absolutely, the fuck not. It's like no, I want to own the network.
Not own the network.
What is? I bought it. But yeah, so I've been. I told you I was gonna boycott it, but I've been watching.
You've been watching.
I've been bored.
Okay.
I've been like it's boring.
Ain't nothing to do on Sunday.
I can find a lot of things to do on Sundays. I do my on Sundays, like I don't know. I could like play Sudoku on my phone. Like there's so many things, and we honestly like I never used to miss Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like I knew when it was coming on. I'm prepared for it. You know that's a thing. This season, we literally watch Real Housewives of Atlanta on Mondays or Tuesdays now because we forget that it's coming on. Like oh man, Sunday, like Real Housewives came on. It's just not. It ain't the same.
It ain't the same. Yeah, it definitely the dynamic has definitely changed. It's not as entertaining as it was. Like there's times I'm like because you know iPhone's got the whole multitask thing now. Like I'm literally playing a game while I'm watching Real Housewives. Like it's not giving it to me like it used to. And it's like, girl, like Kenya not doing it. Like I didn't like that whole jet thing when she got on the jet and then everybody else was on that hot ass bus, and then
it makes sense she's gonna get on this like a jet, like it's gonna have like a bed or some shit on. I mean, she brought 3 hours. Yeah,
and she brought Brooklyn, but like Portia was like, "Damn, like I was literally just crying because I had to leave Pilar. Like you didn't let me know." And she's being so mean. Like it's not like before. It was kind of funny, you know, their bicker back and forth, you know, Kenya and Portia. But now I guess because the show is putting Kenya as the leader. You just look like a bully, like a really bad bully. And it's just to the point where it's like Portia's not even responding to you no more. And you're just attacking her. Like
they put her the gag is they didn't put Kenya as the leader. She has a little more screen time.
She been leading shit.
I mean every girl, every season they get a chance, somebody different gets a chance to host like the cast trips and stuff like that. But Portia's in the middle this year. She's the middle peach this season. And
yeah, she's in
right. So I mean her storyline is something we're looking forward to, especially now with this like situation at the bachelor party. Like the sex scandal is what we're waiting. Like that's what we're waiting for. Like get to that part. Get to the part where somebody had their legs up in the air screaming for their dear life when this stripper came.
Rev, Keon Jackson, FaceTime video.
Girl, that was
Hey yeah,
we just started talking again.
That's what we're waiting for. I wish they would just send a release and like, okay, this is the episode that y'all want to watch because this other shit y'all can keep. Y'all can just put it on YouTube and we'll catch it up later. But if it's a live event, I don't want to watch it if it's not going to be something that I care about. I don't care about Kenya. I don't care about Cynthia and this back and forth about her getting married to this man. I don't care about these other girls that I don't remember their names.
Andy wanted the child get that man for that child support. Girl, boy, you better pay.
This girl, your daughter is 40 years old. Okay, if you ain't got that child support by now, you ain't gonna get it. Like you ain't gonna get it.
Don't it stop at a certain age? Well, I think the age stops at 26.
policy on this man's head and just collect it when he hit the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
not collecting when he hit the ground.
I know. I mean, it sounds crazy, but like, get a policy on this man. She can afford it. Just get a policy on him, and whenever he hits the dust, whatever his policy covers, give it to your daughter, and that could be her.
But if she do that, that's a wrap for the storyline.
Do what? Well, I ain't talking about the man gonna die like next year. I'm just saying, like, just get over it. Like, it ain't happening. Take him to court. Let's move on. We don't care. Riley's gonna be a mother by the time
Riley gonna be a mother.
Riley having her first baby on Real Housewives of Atlanta by the time she get a dime for.
Okay, and yeah, it's not giving. It's really not giving. But we'll see what happens in the course of this season. We will be, once Married to Medicine is on officially, we're going to be giving you guys a reality check every week. To talk to you about the episodes.
Well, this was fun, but I gotta go because I just got alerted that there's a new episode of WandaVision on Disney Plus.
You need to watch it because the plot thickens. Okay, the plot. Huh?
It just came out today. This is episode 4. It just came out.
I watched it this morning.
Oh yeah, I got to.
Okay.
That's a show. This is.
I gotta watch it now.
You haven't watched WandaVision?
Not yet.
You gotta watch it as a creative too, like the nuances and stuff. Like, yeah, you gotta watch it.
Okay, yeah, my brother's been talking all about WandaVision, so like that's something I have to hop on, and it's Marvel too, so
yeah, it is something different.
Last night, when we went out to dinner, he was like, you need to watch, was it Infinity Wars?
Yes.
Game.
You haven't watched Infinity?
I haven't watched it yet. Watching that, I know.
Well, how are you not like what's going on in this show?
Yeah.
I like what's going on, but he said you need to watch that and then you can understand more context. And I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna make it a point to watch those.
Especially with this episode that you're about to watch, there's an opening sequence where you're gonna be like, what the hell is this? But
maybe you should watch that first.
Watching game first. I'm gonna watch that first and now I'll make that my night. I'm gonna watch Avengers. I'll watch that first and then move into WandaVision.
Yeah,
Disney got the whole thing. They got the whole.
They do, and I've been trying to watch it with my family every Friday night, but we kind of slacked off because Thor. We're on Thor right now, and Thor is really boring, surprisingly. So we're trying to move past Thor.
Oh, the first Thor movies.
Yes.
Skip to Ragnarok.
Just
Don't watch the Captain America movies. Yeah. Look at it on YouTube. Get caught up, and then skip right into Captain America: Civil War, because that's
I finished the Captain Americas, the Iron Man, the Ant-Mans. Now I'm on what's that thing called? Thor.
Yeah, Captain America: Civil War. That's when I started being like, whoa, this is really good. Like, I need to. Yeah, that's when we seen Black Panther, and then Black Panther movie came out, and then all this other stuff. Doctor Strange is a really good one too.
I love Doctor Strange. That's so underrated.
Like, it makes me want to get in tune with my chakras, like, for real. Like, it was really, it really has a deeper meaning. Like, for real.
Let me watch Doctor Strange now.
All right.
Yeah, so good.
Watch it all. But not
Doctor Strange too. That's how good it is. It's so underrated.
Yes,
and Ant-Man's underrated too. He's hilarious. What?
Ant-Man was all right.
What? He's hilarious.
I'm not into ants.
Oh my goodness. Okay, aside from the fact that he grows big and small all the time, but like he's funny.
I'm ready for this next Spider-Man movie because he's gonna bring in Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, like the old people coming back, and it's gonna be like a Spider-Verse thing.
Yes. I'm excited for that.
They should cast the Miles Morales so we can get a black Spider-Man, but
seriously, like, where's the black one? Like, they could have a real one. They always have the cartoon. Where's the real black Spider-Man?
Eric is like, okay, hey, we gotta go. Thank you so much, Maxine, for joining the show. Come back. This is your first time on the podcast. On this podcast, we did podcasts before.
Yeah, we did.
This is the first time you're being on the Darren Green Show, so I'm glad that you are present and here. Thank you so much for, because we did the All Love is Real Love calendar, and that's how me and Derek met. So it's like, you always you helped me reach people and what's the word? Network, I guess, and make friends.
Yeah. Thank you for for having me. I'm so glad for this opportunity and to reconnect with you guys again.
Y'all gonna let me on the Cozy Chat podcast? Because you know I'm ready.
Will.
I'm ready to. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, we got a collab.
Yes. Hit me up. Until next time, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the convo. Until next time, I am your host, Darren Green. And this is the Darren Green Show signing out. This is Darren. All right, y'all. Bye.
Bye.
If you like what you heard, please don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button and give us a 5-star rating. As always, enjoy the convo.
That was hilarious. Because I didn't know if you wanted me to. What your
God, I love cats.
I didn't know you wanted me to.
What were you talking about?
You said, and this is Darren Green, with the Darren Green Show, and then you kind of paused for a while. I was like, did you want us to go one by one and say our names again?
No, because usually Derek says, and I'm Prince Derek, dog, but he didn't do it this time, but that's okay.
Oh,
right. Sorry, the cat literally hit my foot. You know,
I saw the kitty.
She be nosy. She want to know what's going on. The house manager, so supervises me. All right, well, let me go get my Disney night started.
Yeah,
on some pants.
What you about to do? What you about to get into?
I'm gonna watch. I have Doctor Strange queued up, and then I'm gonna watch Infinity Wars game.
One of it.
In game. Yeah.
I also have to look over some documents because we got to get our casting for Queer Millennial. Get that underway for season 3.
Yay!
Ciao.
I'm so happy for you, and that retweet and delete is a hit. I love it.
You like retweet and delete? I like it too. It's fun.
I would do that. If y'all let me on, you know, because I love looking at tweets. You know what I'm saying?
You got Julian's information. Hit up Julian.
Okay. All right.
House record. We'll have. Actually, he put a casting call. We're looking for Latinos right now, but like it's gonna be open for everybody in a week or so. So, whether just send in a self tape or whatever, and we'll send you a couple of questions. You just answer them.
I'm about to Danny Lane, y'all. Like, why y'all just want me? So, yeah.
You look, brush my back. Like, so yeah, you know, you just have to stay tuned and see what's next.
Okay, y'all.